Today we're going to be talking about still lifes. What are still lifes? We're going to be looking at a brush and we're going to try to recreate our very own, and as well we're going to use lines. So let's get started. We're going to be building it and I can't wait to see how these turn out. Alright, so for this part of our project, what we're going to do is have our paper, and the important thing we always do is we need two things. One, our name, and the second thing is our teacher code. So I know you probably know it, or if not, I'll go over it with you at this moment. Once you're done, you have your name and your teacher code. Our pencil, we're going to put it away so it doesn't get dirty with the paint. Awesome. All right, the next thing is our name is always on the back, so then we know whose paper is whose. And at your table, you're going to see a big old box of crayons. Each is for your table colors, and you just pull one side off. There goes your crayon lid. I always tuck the lid underneath my box, and that way it's not in anybody else's way. So in here, you can use any color that you want today. We're not coloring our entire paper. Instead, we're just putting lots and lots of different lines on it. So I might take this really cool color, and I'm just gonna go crazy and make these lines like this. And there's one line. Maybe I wanna take a purple this time and just do a couple spirals and fun things this way. So I want you to take your time. We are not covering all of this with the crayons because we want to be able to paint. We're going to create what's called a resist today. So all I want you to do is make lots of different lines. You can make them thick by coloring a tiny bit, but I don't want the whole thing filled in. We're just going to use a little bit of lines all over the place. And try your best to at least decorate your paper in maybe about, 5 or 6 different colors or more. Let's see what you got. Okay, so at this point in time, we're going to be done with our crayons, and I'll have that timer go off for us too, so you guys know. We put the lid back on, and we're going to take these back to the parking station for our crayons and our markers. You'll see that the color matches where the station goes. All right, so our next part of this is the fun part. This is the painting part. So I usually we practice different types of our cakes. These are called tempura cakes, and you can see that it's nice and dry. And we need water in order to wake up the paint. There's other paints that you don't need any water unless you're rinsing the color afterwards. But these are really nice. And so what we're going to do is I want to show you something. This is my brush in the cup. And when we go to take our brush out, you'll notice there's a lot of water dripping off of it, right? We don't want that to get all over our paper or somebody else's. So you want to gently wipe your brush on the inside, not on the outside like this, otherwise it's going to drip all the way down. So we want to wipe it on the inside. And then we're going to grab a color. So I'm going to go to my green here, and I'm just going to go around it a little bit at times. And you can already see, I'm not sure, but you can, that this is all nice and green. So I'm going to decide to paint on this part of my paper. And look at that. It resisted it. Isn't that cool? And I might decide I'm going to use a little bit of a green over here. And now I'm done. So what you'll do is you're going to push your brush to the bottom here, and you're going to move it around, and your whole water is going to get dirty, and that's okay. And then I'm going to wipe it. So what you'll do is keep going and playing with getting different colors. Don't worry if it gets on the table, we'll clean that after. What I don't want to see is you have all, I mean, look at all this purple on this brush. I don't want to see you go in here and then dunk it in here, because then my entire cup of water is going to turn into purple. I only used a little bit. So if you want a little bit, just grab a little on your brush, as you can see, and then you can paint a little area. If you grab a lot, you need to paint a lot of the area. So more water means the color is lighter, and a little less water means it's darker. So take your time going through and painting. Rinse your brush every time. Wipe it and get another color. And that way everybody has the same pretty colors to be able to work with. I want you to take your time and just really clean up your brush and go in and paint your entire painting in different colors. Okay, once you're done, this painting is going to go on the dry rack. As you can see, it's nice and wet, so you want to take it by 2 hands and you're going to bring it to the dry rack in the back of my room. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to learn how to clean our tables. So when you turn on the water, you get the sponge nice and wet. You're going to turn off the sink, and you see how it's dripping. We're going to squeeze all that water out. And then you can go back and you can see here I've got some paint and whatnot, and I can easily pick it up. But my sponge is not that dirty, which is really nice. Your cup is also going to be nice and dirty. So what I want you to do, turn the water on. You're going to dump that water out, and you're going to get it nice. You're going to just kind of like stick your brush in the bottom here and dump it. And you can see that it's nice and clean. And then you'll put it back in the spot it belongs in. When you're done, your sponge will go back in the bucket. And over here, if you need, you can grab a towel and dry off the area. For this next part of our project, we're going to be making the brush. So I wanted to show you what a nice big paintbrush looks like. This is one that you would use in your house. And you can see it's got the wood, it's got, you know, they're all different sizes. They could be really wide or really narrow and skinny. They have like this, you know, aluminum part on here. There's usually a hole here so you can hang it. And then you see the hair, you know, this really nice hair. And so this part is really important when we're doing our project today, because on this black piece of paper, I want to use a white crayon or a white oil pastel, and we're going to draw our lines going up. So this way it gives that look like it's actually hair. So I'm going to put my brush down here, and right here what I want you to do is we're going to make some lines together, and then I'm going to have you finish your lines. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Wonderful. Okay. So the first thing for my line, what I want us to do is we're going to do a nice straight line, just like that. Good. Our next line, let's do a zigzag. So you kind of go to the side and this side and this side and this side. Wonderful. You could also do a line where it's a line, skip, line, skip. You see how we're making these really neat, fun lines just like that. You could also do a big curly line like this. And you can do a wavy line like that. How about you can either follow me or you can make your own. I want you to try to come up with a few more lines, whatever you want. It could be another straight line. It could be, you know, where you're just making the same zigzags and then it turns into something crazy. It's really up to you. So why don't you finish that now? Now that you're done, we're going to put our oil pastel away, or our crayon, because these roll on the floor and they get a little squished. So we're going to put them back in the tray they came in. The next thing that you're going to do is we're going to put this on the side a little. So we're going to grab our paintbrush. So this paintbrush piece, the base of it, you're going to also see at your table there's this little piece as well. And we're going to put it together. And how are we going to do that? We need a glue stick. So when you take the glue stick off, twist only a tiny bit. We don't need a lot of glue. And what we're going to do is put the glue on this silver piece. So I'm just going to do a nice little quick line like this, not a lot. I gave it a tiny bit of pressure. And then I'm going to put this on the top of my piece here, trying to make it as equal as I can. Push it down, kind of pat it. You can hold it for a few seconds. We can count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. All right, so now that we've got that, I'm going to have you do something silly. Flip it over. Good job. And we're going to pick up our glue stick. And we're going to just do one line across and set our glue stick back down. Excellent. Now pick up your lines. I'm going to turn it backwards. And I want you to place it on your paper. Just like that. Fantastic. So now I've got this really cool brush. Don't worry if it's not exact. If we really wanted to, we can trim this down. I am almost done with our glue stick. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a color. So you should have a couple colors of really cool drips that you can have on your paper. And I am going to use this one, and I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. And I'm going to stick this on my paper, and I'm going to hold it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to let go. That looks pretty cool. Then I'm going to take these eyes, and I could put these eyes anywhere on my paper, which will be really fun. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on both of them. And then I'm going to flip them over and stick them on my paper, just like this, and hold it down as well. Good. All right, so I just trimmed mine a little bit. I realized when I made this, I made it for it to fit the other way, but beautiful oopses happen. So the next thing that you'll see at your table is we have a marker. And what we're going to do is we are going to give our character some eyes. So you can make it any way you want, or you can just color in a nice, cute little eye. It's up to you. I've had others that go, Miss Holland, can I do those shiny eyes? Sure. So if you wanted to do the shiny eyes, you just make 2 little circles inside, and then you color it in this way, and now you got a cute little shiny eyes. Completely up to you. Give it a smile. And then down here, we're gonna do a circle. And only on the bottom, we're gonna make a little line like this. And see how it makes it look like it's see-through? That's what we're looking for, just like this part. Awesome. Most important, put your name on the back of your project and your teacher code, and next time we're going to glue these onto the other part of our project. All right, the last thing that we're going to do once this is dry is you're going to take your glue stick, and we're just going to do on the outside like this. You don't need a lot. And then I do an X, and I take it, and you could put it any which direction you want. Once you put it on, hold it for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.